Well,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus, and I'm back one more time. You know, this has been almost a whole day that's passed by, and I haven't gotten with you to share anything about the excitement of a future, a change in our social dispensation. Well, it almost got midnight, but it's a little early, and so I guess I'm going to get a chance to put something in. Let me share something with you about what's going on with the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the response from the Democratic House of Representatives. And it is a situation that reflects something that's been going on all the time, especially in the lives of people who consider themselves in a different class and a different order than the rest of what they might call we peons or hicks, something like that. In other words, that's to say we don't have that much value. So what you really have right now is a young man who is, you might say he's a bully based upon the way he presents himself and the disrespect that he has for what you have considered as the proper way of doing things. And he detests that, so he's doing the proper way of doing things for him. And you supposedly have some laws to prevent people like peons and hicks from doing these kinds of things. But this man doing these kinds of things because he knows what we don't know, what we think, what we believe. But he knows that what he's doing happens at all levels of people seeking for power. The thing of it is that people try to have some discretion about what they do and what they try to contain. And if they're trying to maintain a standard based upon an agreement, a compromise made between all the parties concerned, that they would work this thing so they can keep it their knowledge and not common knowledge. And so this one is just one who doesn't care about any of that stuff. He has, in his mind, running the whole darn show. So he's violating the rules that he knows that other people violate. And the reason that they are so hesitant about going on and getting him out of here is because they know that he knows what it really is. Now the difference between the way he's being treated as the way everybody knows that Barack Obama would have been treated is basically this. Barack Obama might have been the President of the United States, but he wasn't riding high with the powers that be. He was in a position that they allowed him to be in for a period of time to do the things that he had done. But as far as trying to go out there and rat on the powers that be, no, they weren't going to go for that. To even challenge the powers that be, they weren't going to go for that. And they would have had him kicked out of office so fast it would have been a crying shame. They would have did him like they did that governor of Illinois. I can't think his name right now. You know who I'm talking about. Then kicked him right out. No problem. But here you got powers dealing with powers. Now Trump lies publicly because he figured you can't do anything about it. You're just peons and hicks. What can you do? And the powers that be going to have it difficult because he's going to draw attention by acting a fool to draw more attention by acting more of a fool. So when this stuff come out, the truth can be known that, hey, we all been screwing over the peons and the hicks. And then if it comes out, what are the peons and the hicks going to do about it? So ladies and gentlemen, I guess what we're basically saying is that the reason that we have these problems continuous even today in this kind of situation is because the people or the powers that are necessary to make a change in the situation are not those powers that we are relying on. We have given them the power to do exactly what they are doing, while we who think something else should be doing are allowing them to do what they want to do, and we sit back and frustrate, not are forgetting that we are the boss. And we have to take charge. I know you're looking for a spokesman. That's why you end up with Donald Trump. You were looking for a spokesman, but you found a con artist, a true con artist. The difference between what's going on now is that everybody else was trying to maintain a certain discipline. And Donald came in doing his thing. And see, when others have done it, they try to keep it under wraps. They didn't try to expand it so crazily. But Trump comes in doing his thing, and he's pissing everybody else off. And while there might have been others that didn't get the rap, didn't get the dime dropped on them, he is, because they don't like him. Why they don't like him is because he does not even have respect for what they have. Sure, they don't have respect for what they have conditioned us to believe is appropriate. They don't have respect for that. But they do have some respect. Trump has no respect for us or them. And so that pisses them off. And yet they can't really respond like they want to, because he knows. So they're all in that together. So ladies and gentlemen, that just goes to say that, regardless of why they're telling off on Trump, or why Trump is doing it to challenge them, we, the peons and the hicks, are the ones that's getting messed over. So until we do something about that, we are really not going to go any place. And let me give you a scenario about what I'm saying. I had this vision that I was at a house, and I was sitting at a nook, watching television or something on a computer, probably social media. And in my peripheral vision, it's like I saw something on the countertop coming towards me. And when I looked around, it looked like a big rat or a big mouse or something, and I jumped and hollered because it kind of scared me. Now in this vision, it's whatever it was, it ran between some things that were on the countertop, and then it disappeared. So I got up and I began to look for it. I looked over here, I looked under there, and I looked over here, but I saw it nowhere. I had a flashlight sitting close by, so I turned the flashlight on and I went back and I looked over here and I looked over there and I didn't see anything. And then I looked down there under something, and what I saw down there under something was a fat mouse, big fat mouse. And it was just sitting, it was just, I don't know if it was a he or she saw, so it was just sitting there still, and those eyes looked like marbles sitting right there looking straight at me. Probably hoping that I didn't see it. Yeah, I kind of laughed because I was thinking, you think I don't see you, right? But anyway, I moved away from it and turned the light off on it, walked away, and I came back and I looked at it again, and he sitting there staring right back at me like, maybe he doesn't see me. So I stood up as if I wasn't looking. I kind of heard something moving. So I looked back right fast, and I noticed he was trying to move out of that vision, out of that sight. And then he moved over the corner, and so I just turned my back. And the next thing I saw, when I turned back around, I caught him running and running and running and running, and jumped over behind something. He had escaped. And I thought about it. It was really funny, because what I thought about we the people. You know, we the people have been given education, whether we follow it or not, that it's kind of immoral to do certain things, and that we should refrain from immorality. And sometimes those things that they say are immoral, we find ourselves testing them and messing with them or testing them. We find out is that hey, there's something that's drawing us back over and time again, doing what they say is immoral. But there's something so fantastic about it that we find an excuse to say we weak. Now some people say, well, why do we accept the fact that something that seems to be so natural, we wouldn't be going back if it wasn't natural. We wouldn't even be drawn to it if it wasn't natural. So if it's so natural, why is it so immoral? Somebody say because of the dangers that can come out of as a result of this type of activity. Well, you say, well, the sweetest people in the world are murdered. So is this any justification for what we're saying? And yet and still, whether we can justify it or not, it becomes the standard that's held before the people. And all the things that I could say in relationship to something like that is that when we do commit immoral things, and we think they're immoral, I don't know if you don't think this immoral, I don't even think you give a care what else is going on. But if you think it's a little immoral, and it would remind me of having committed something like that, then you sort of look like that mouse that's under that item, still as can be, like eye with the light on it. Don't see it. So you're like it's the one that you're holding up your morality for is like the one with the light down on looking at you. And you sitting right under there thinking that you're hiding. And just because there's no adequate, what you would call adequate result in your action coming toward you, you think, well, I got away with it that time, and so I was lucky. Only thing is you end up doing it again. So what happens, that mouse that keeps coming back, doing it over and over again, I guarantee you, if he comes to your house like that, I guarantee you that somewhere down that line, especially if you know about it, he's going to get caught. And just like he's going to get caught, anybody who's doing something that they think is wrong, but continue to do it, you're going to get caught. No doubt about that. Now, I was thinking about something else about being good. It seems that sometimes to be good, you have to give your life for good. To get good. To be good, you got to give your life for good to get good. Now, what am I referring to when I say that? I'm saying that if your goodness has got to be authentic, it has to be real. And when it's real, whatever challenge it comes up against, it will always be standing out as goodness. And I'm saying this because of the pain and suffering that people experience all over the world, being peons and hicks, governed by powers that don't care anything about us. And all over the world, people are going through these kinds of things. I mean, all over the world. And anybody that reflects goodness feels the pain and suffering of everybody else that's suffering. At least if they know about it. And there is no satisfaction outside of dealing with that suffering, stopping it, ending it. That's what goodness is going to do. That's a gift of the spirit that I keep telling you about that you can't see, that's being manifested in an individual that you can see. And that is the way that that particular individual glorifies and honors and praises the spirit that cannot be seen, heard, but this now is the evidence of it. That's the worship. It is not to say anything negative about the worship of people who are in a church building who gets overcome with the Holy Ghost and starts crawling around on the floors with their hands and knees from thank you Jesus, or getting up dancing and having a good time, nothing wrong with it, saying thank you Jesus and holding up the hand, praise you Lord, and falling all over benches, and use this as their expressions of praising God, to give a testimony and say how grateful they are about how God has awakened them and given them health and so on and so forth. Yeah. And so this what I speak to you about tonight is not to knock that, but look at it like this. When you're doing that kind of praising, it doesn't do anything about the pain and suffering that others are feeling. They can only stop when the truth is spread in that direction, when the light comes into that darkness so others can see. That's not going to come from crawling around on the floor. Because having done all these things, you get up and you go back the next 6 days of the week doing the same identical things that you were doing the 6 days before or 7 days before. Doing the same identical stuff over and over and over again. And in the process, more pain, more suffering is being created every day. And so, I mean, it just seems to me that if praising God means going out there, taking the light into the darkness, setting people free, giving them the authority to accept God into their lives, accept the spirit of truth, and be able to stand up boldly and resist, I mean, that looks to me as the praise that anybody would want. So, what happens when you do that? What happens truly when you do that? Well, you know, very seldom are you familiar with anybody doing that kind of stuff. They will tell you about a kid who took his popcorn money and saved it up and gave it to somebody to help him out. These kinds of things make the news. But they're not going to be telling you about a person who's standing up for truth that affects all the people, not just here but everywhere. You're not going to hear that so by the mass media, nothing like that. So if you think you're going to get that kind of attention, then there's going to be someone that's going to come around whose mission is to kill you. Now here you are doing good, and you are killed for standing up for good. So if a seed goes in the ground and is planted and it changes, it dies to what it was and grows up to what it was planted for, good. That is almost like you coming up in a different parallel dimension in a situation where you've been all your life. You never have any knowledge of ever being anywhere else other than where you're at, and you remember it from your earliest times of remembrance. It's just brand new to you like that, and you're just where you are supposed to be. And the rest of us still back here thinking we smart, still thinking we got it going on, still trying to live forever, taking all kinds of medications, having all kinds of facelifts, taking all kinds of Viagra and stuff, just trying to live forever and ever, don't want to die, even knowing that we're going to die. But just to live, we'll sell our souls, just don't want to die. And so, we're all bedded down in darkness. We're all bedded down in ignorance. We are all slaves. And the truth stands amongst you that will set you free. And that basically means a peace and prosperity and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams. Meaning that you are here and you got a purpose for being here. You know what that purpose is. And now you have an opportunity to exercise that purpose. And that purpose is engaging all of the resources of the earth right along with your dreams and aspirations and visions, and causing a creation and a manifestation of all those things that you, the people, have determined are essential and important for your human existence at this day. With unlimited health care, from the womb to the tomb, education unlimited and unrestricted, Health, food, clothing, and shelter, and all of these things. Transportation, infrastructure, all of the things that you can imagine as beautiful as you would want them to be. And yet alive, all of you can come together and live together where you want to do that and where you want to be segregated at, living amongst your kind for whatever reason. It's wonderful and fine. Nobody trying to bring you into an atmosphere that you don't want to be in. That's taking away your heaven. And yet at the same time, everything that you desire, want, or need is there for you because you are a part of the finished product of love. Yeah, this is why I stand up and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this kind of stuff is worth dying for. And, my friends, when you become willing to die for it, then there's nothing on earth can prevent you from having it. Because one thing, you're going to start building it right here in your midst. And everything that comes with it starts coming with it when you wake and make your mind. And if they try to send you out of here, they just putting you right where you're trying to go, in the middle of it, as a way of life. You can't lose, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to tell you something. Don't be afraid of dying. I know everything since we've been alive, they've been trying to scare us from dying. Don't commit suicide. Oh, you gonna do that, God, they're not gonna forgive you. Then as soon as they want you to go and die for them or kill for them, they call you up and call it patriotic. Or you get so angry with something else in your daily life that you find yourself getting a gun, killing somebody, or getting killed. All of these kind of crazy things. We growing out of that. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, what I just wanted to share with you. Why Trump and the Democrats and the political scene that we experience here in America is as it is. I want you to know that whatever you're doing, you're not hiding from anybody. You might think you are, but the power that matters, the other folks can't see what you're doing. Many of them care and be pissed off because they think something. Many of them don't care. But where it really matters at, where it really truly matters, you are not hiding at all. Everything is being observed. And you can take the truth, if you ever get it, and walk in that light and be the light. Or you can try to cut it out and accept what you have given up. It's all in your hands. But if you can understand where I'm coming from, you go to those polls in November and vote next November, not this one. For Eddie Marcus, you got to write his name in, Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, Marcus, M-A-R-C-U-S, as the next president of the United States. What you're basically doing when you say that is that now you understand that the Republican and Democratic way of functioning here in America is not the best thing of all. That it requires some upgrades. And you are for the upgrades that would eradicate the poverty and the crime and violence that we experience here in this nation. And that we open the doors to peace and prosperity for everyone, that would eradicate hatred and racism. Yeah, we're going to do all of that. That's what this here whole mission is about. So you write my name in because I got no money and I'm not asking for any money. I believe without a shadow of doubt, if you are worthy of this, and if you know you're worthy of this, then this information will travel all over this nation. You say, well, what do I know about governing? I ask you this. How many politicians, how many presidents, how many any kind of politicians have you ever had before you that stood before you and talked to you about the kinds of things that I'm talking to you about today? Did they know about it? And if they did, why didn't they promise it to you? I might not know how all of government's supposed to work. I might not know the best way to administer these things. But I know one thing. Out of us, the best thing will come forward. That's what I'm counting on. Us. Thank you.